Good day, students. I am an English teacher at Tashkent State Agrarian University, Karimova Lola. So today's topic of our lesson is unintended consequences. I'd like you to review the previous topic of the lesson. Look at the picture and try to continue the statement. Dear international student. What do you think? How do you state the next sentence? I suppose you will say about the student will face challenges and deal with them on your own. So, he will be or she will be a problem solver. That is, the person will grow and become independent. Let's get to the point. Today's topic is unintended consequences, and look at the pictures and try to guess a general message. So the first one is about technology, and whatever the next big invention, there will be unintended consequences. Many of them will affect our health, many will affect society. But all of them make great material for a future blog post. The second one is good intentions, unintended consequences. Благими намерениями выслан путь в ад. And the third picture is about what started as a means to bring people together, appears to see people with their head in a device instead of connecting with each other. Guess what is about? It is about our cell phones. So I want to say that the general message that these pictures carry is about that progress always comes at a cost. If we have invention, new invention, there is always some drawback of it. Think and try some inventions or discoveries of humanity in history which brought unintended consequences. A popular invention discover or an event, unintended consequences of the invention or discovery. For example, let's speak about an atom. It is a big invention in the science, and it has a lot of benefits for science and for our lives. But it has some unintended consequences. The first of all, what do you think? It is terrifying weapon. What kind of weapon? Atom bomb. You should think or consider of another invention that has some benefits and some unintended consequences. Now, you will watch and listen to the video and try to identify the meaning of the unknown words or word combinations in the context. Вам нужно будет перевести слова на русский язык по тем определениям, которые я сейчас дам на английском языке. So, listen to the words and pronounce after me. Tedious. Tedious. Its definition, tiresome or annoying. Next, cotton lint. Its definition, fluff or fuss. Consequence. Consequence. The definition, impact, outcome, negative result. And explode. Its definition, blow off or detonate. And the last word, spur on. Its definition is affect or lead to. This is the story of an invention that changed the world. Can you imagine the machine that can cut down 10 hours of work to 1 hour of work? A machine so efficient that it would free up people to do other things, kind of like the personal computer, but the machine I am going to tell you about did none of this. In fact, it is accomplished just the opposite. In the late 17th, just as America was getting on its feet as a republic under the new US Constitution, slavery was a tragic American fact of life. George Washington and Thomas Jefferson both became president while owning slaves, knowing that this peculiar institution contradicted the ideals and principles and for which they fought a revolution. But both men believed that slavery was going to die out as the 19th century dawned. They were, of course, tragically mistaken. The reason was an invention, a machine they probably told you about in elementary school. Mr. Eli Whitney Cotton Ginn, a Yale graduate, 28-year-old Whitney had come to South Carolina to work as a tutor in 1793. Supposedly, he was told by some local planters about the difficulty of cleaning cotton. Separating the seeds from the cotton lint was tedious and some time-consuming. Working by hand, a slave could clean about a pound of cotton a day. But the Industrial Revolution was underway and the demand was increasing. Large mills in Great Britain and New England were hungry for cotton to mass-produce cotton cloth. As the story was told, Whitney had a eureka moment and invented a gin short for engine. The truth is that the cotton gin already existed for centuries in small but inefficient forms. In 1794, Whitney simply improved upon the existing gins and then patented his invention. A small engine that employed a set of cones that could separate seeds from lint mechanically as a crank was turned. With it, a single worker could eventually clean from 300 to 1,000 pounds of cotton a day. In 1790, about 3,000 bales of cotton were produced in America each year. A bale was equal to about 500 pounds. As America was expanding through the land acquired in the Louisiana Purchase of 1803, yearly production exploded to 4 million bales. Cotton was king. It is exceeded the value of all other American products combined, about 3/5 of America's economic output. But instead of reducing the need of labor, the cotton gin propelled it, as more slaves were needed to plant and harvest king cotton. The cotton gin and the demand of Northern and English factories recharted the course of American slavery. In 1790, America's first official census counted nearly 7,000 slaves. By 1810, 2 years after the slave trade was banned in America, the number had shot up to more than 1 million. During the next 50 years, the number exploded to nearly 4 million slaves. In 1860, the eve of Civil War. As for Whitney, he suffered the fate of many an inventor. Despite his patent, other planters easily built copies of his machine or made improvements of their own. You might say the design was pirated. Whitney made very little money from the device that transformed America. But to the bigger picture and the larger questions, what should we make of the cotton gin? History has proven that inventions can be double-edged swords. They often carry unintended consequences. The factories of the Industrial Revolution spurred innovation and an economic boom in America, but they also depended on child labor and led to tragedies like the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire that killed more than 100 women in 1911. So while listening to the video, fill in the gaps with the words and phrases that you listened in the video. After that, what are the ways to compare the intended benefits with unintended consequences of new technology? Intended benefits and unintended consequences. Let's compare them. Intended benefit is the purpose or reason the technology was created. Unintended consequences of the technology is the negative result or positive result or usage that the engineer never expected the technology to do. It can be beneficial. The next, we'll look at the iPad. iPad has a lot of benefits that we can mention. They are intended benefits. It can connect to the internet anywhere that has Wi-Fi, easy to transport, and it has unintended consequences that the engineer that invented it didn't expect. The first is what? Health issues. The second is hacked. And the third is addicted to games. Let's look through the table. Benefits are things that are favorable to a decision maker, and costs are things unfavorable to decision maker. Обратите внимание на эту таблицу, вам нужно будет просмотреть все положительные стороны какой-то новой технологии и объяснить их отрицательную сторону, то есть влияние на на жизнь человека. So the advent of smartphones, it has what? Consequence, negative consequence, less active lifestyle of people. And the second is AI, that is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence or robotics has many negative consequences. Many people believe that implementation of robotics and AI will lead to mass layoffs or unemployment. And the next is, what do you think? We have already seen how factory workers lost their jobs. That is unemployment and governing the people's life. So let's start with our grammar theme. Grammar theme is connectors of cause and effect, or linking words. What does it mean? Linking words are the words that help to connect two parts of the sentence and two ideas. This is, what does it mean? This is to add information, or to connect two ideas, or summarize or consider some ideas, or trying to say the reason of an event and consequence or effect of the event. So linking words for cause are as a result, therefore, consequently, so that, accordingly. Connectors or linking words of effect. As a result, due to, because, due to lack, owing to the strike, due to. Cause, linking words of cause. They say about why did the event happen. Why did the event happen? Linking words of effect. What happened? What kind of event happened? The next task is to read the linking words in the box and sort them into cause and effect columns. So there are two columns, cause linking words and effect linking words. For example, because it is a linking word of cause, and consequently is an effect linking word. Look at the diagram. There are benefits and consequences of new technologies and introduction, and I think you will try to describe a new technology in some sections of people's life, like environment, land use, built environment, regional development, health. At the end of our lesson, you can say, I can determine the intended benefits of technology or inventions and unintended consequences of new technology. Thank you for your attention. See you next time.